There is an Eastern Conference team that might be swarming at their chance to pounce at one D'Angelo Russell once he hits free agency this offseason. And Rob Pelinka, according to a report, might be looking for a third star once again. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into everything that we have for you today's video, guys, I want to bring your attention to something. There is 78% of you guys who've recently watched our videos who are not subscribed to the channel just yet, and if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker reactions, trade rumors, game recaps, player analysis, just everything Lakers basketball, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you guys do not miss any of it. Now, with that out of the way, guys, let's hop straight into the topics we have for you for today's video. As first up here, the Orlando Magic showing interest in D'Angelo Russell. So the Orlando Magic have been linked to Lakers point guard D'Angelo Russell, and for good reason, as they're an up-and-coming team on the rise, and they've had a couple of questions at who they should put at their guards because their forwards are pretty set and solid with guys like Pablo Banchero and also Franz Wagner. So they might be looking for another guard to shore them up there as they try to go further in their future endeavors. So D'Angelo Russell's name has come up. So according to the One Athletics, Johan Buha, who covers the Lakers, he was talking about D'Angelo Russell and the possibility that he could go to the Orlando Magic. So this is what he said here, and he said, Orlando's the team. And he said, Orlando is a team that, talking to people with the Lakers, talking to people outside the Lakers, Orlando's probably the team that gives the most concern in terms of a potential suitor. So just piggybacking on what Johan was kind of saying there, and it makes sense that D'Angelo Russell has come up as a name for a team like the Orlando Magic, as they could definitely use a point guard, and a point guard that shoots at a very high clip like a guy like D'Angelo Russell has. And with a season like this, he would only make more sense for a team like them, which is a little similar to the Lakers in the earlier years with a guy like a Pablo Banchero and a Franz Wagner, just two very big athletic wings who can really get downhill and really get into the paint. And then you really offset that with a shooting point guard, and they don't really exactly have that yet with all their guys they've got. They've got a lot of guys who are really good, but not really guys who are known as shooters. So them looking into D'Angelo Russell and them being able to offer him some money in the offseason, as we got to remember that the Orlando Magic, they don't have any max contracts on the roster. Pablo Banchero and Franz Wagner are still both in their rookie deals, so they have some leeway when it comes to cap space, and they'll have the opportunity to offer D'Angelo Russell a good sum of money. And if the Lakers aren't willing to match this or even get somewhere close to the number, things could possibly turn the wrong way, and we could end up losing D'Angelo Russell for almost nothing, and he'll go to an Eastern Conference team. So we'll see if D'Angelo Russell actually, takes up on this offer, or if the Magic are willing to give him a number that he likes. But it just makes sense from a basketball perspective that D'Angelo Russell would fit on a team like the Orlando Magic. But the Lakers, we'll see what happens. Obviously, we still got the rest of the season to play, and we have to go hunting the play-in and the playoffs. But whatever happens there, that's definitely going to affect what kind of deal that D'Angelo Russell gets, because I think a lot of teams out there fully understand what D'Angelo Russell's game is and what he can bring to your team in the regular season. But it's really about that postseason success and what he can do beyond the regular season, because if he is successful there, then I think the dollar signs will really open up for him, and then he can get any contract that he really desires if he plays well in the postseason. But that will bring me up to my next topic here, and if D'Angelo Russell does end up leaving, then Rob Pelinka is going to have to think of another solution there. So one thing that Rob Pelinka could be thinking is Rob going star hunting. And this is nothing new. As us Laker fans know, we tried this once before when we traded for Russell Westbrook, and then that really didn't work out. But it seems that Rob Pelinka, some of the guys that he might be targeting or looking after for are maybe younger guys, kind of more up and coming, and not like a Russell Westbrook, who was a little bit past his prime when he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. So this is what recently said also from Johan Buha of The Athletic. So they said Rob Pelinka will indeed look for a third star this offseason. And then just to zoom in closer on that, this is what Johan said. And he said, yes, they are. If the Lakers are gonna chase a third star, I can confirm from multiple sources they're going a third star hunting this offseason. We'll see how that affects the D'Lo situation. We'll see. You'll probably have to give up Austin Reaves in any almost third star trade. Now, who's available? The only name I continually hear is Trae Young. He's been to Laker playoff games before. He's a Clutch Sports client. That's the most realistic one out there right now. What happens with Dallas and Kyrie Irving? Do they flame out? Do they lose in the play-in? Do they lose round one? Does Dallas ultimately break that up? Or is there a market for Kyrie? Donovan Mitchell, it seems like if things go, if there's a little bit more growing optimism buzz that he's going to stay in Cleveland, but if he leaves, those two New York teams reportedly are favored just because of he's from the greater New York area. So, a couple of names there that Johan was throwing out there, but guys like a Trae Young, guys like Donovan Mitchell, and guys like Kyrie Irving. Now, to varying degree, I think each one of these guys are a little impossible to get. Probably starting off with Kyrie because I think they finally found something there in Dallas, and I think he's pretty comfortable there, so I doubt him really moving on. And he also signed a 3-year deal this past offseason, so to move and trade him, that will take a lot of money and assets that really the Lakers don't have at the moment. And then a guy like Trae Young, while he is the guy that I think probably makes a good amount of basketball sense with what he can do in the pick and roll with a guy like Anthony Davis, and also his ball handling capabilities, he can take a lot off of LeBron James, and also is somewhat similar, not in the same realm of Kyrie, but somewhat similar in feel and game, how they can just shoot and also play make at the same time. So maybe that's like a reason why the Lakers might go after a guy like Trae Young, but it will take a lot, like Johan said. So it is going to take probably Austin Reaves, and then whatever happened in D'Angelo Russell situation, I find it very unlikely that we're able to afford to keep a guy like him if we were to make a deal for Trae Young, because the Atlanta Hawks would probably be wanting a lot of draft picks and a lot of assets that I'm not sure the Lakers can really pile together like some of these other teams can, like maybe a San Antonio Spurs team or something like that. And then the other name on the list, who to me is probably my favorite name, that's Donovan Mitchell. And a guy like him, I understand why the Lakers would want to go after him, because he has had playoff success and he's done it at a high level too. So he's a guy that can be a high volume shot creator, but he can also play off the ball as well, as we're seeing, because he's playing with Darius Garland over there. But that also depends on what happens in Cleveland, and they're in a pretty good situation right now. And then we'll definitely see what happens coming up in the playoffs, if they're able to make some headway or do something by getting further than the second round, essentially. So if they're able to go to the conference finals or something like that, then they're definitely going to want to keep that team together. So all of these are very contingent on some of these teams kind of just moving off their star players, which I think is the less likelier thing. It does make sense, I guess, if you're the GM Rob Pelinka, to look for a third star, but I think there's just too many drawbacks for getting a third star, because you have to trade so much in players and also contract money value to match that player coming back. So once you trade for that third star, the rest of your team isn't really whole, and you're really trying to fill in the slots with a lot of veteran minimum guys who you're not really sure if you're gonna get consistent good play. So we'll see what the Lakers choose to do here in this offseason. We definitely got to see what happens here down the stretch and in the play-in and the playoffs, if the Lakers are able to make some noise and do something here, because that is definitely going to be very contingent of what happens during the offseason. Because if these guys like D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reaves play well and the Lakers get to conference finals or better, then there's definitely a bigger argument to keep those guys and keep those guys around. But if the Lakers flame out and lose in the first round or don't even get out of the play-in, then these conversations will start to come up once again, fast and furious. So we'll see what happens down the stretch for the Los Angeles Lakers. They did lose last night to the Indiana Pacers, which I'll kind of chalk that one up to just a little bit of a scheduled loss. Third game in 4 nights. It would be a lot asking for them to win that 6th straight there. But I do think they will have the ability to bounce back on Sunday against the Brooklyn Nets. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and then comment down below of like what you think the Lakers should do this offseason, and should they try to fend off a team like the Orlando Magic if they're willing to give D'Angelo Russell big bucks, or Rob Pelinka, do you think he is right to go after for this third star? And if it is the right move to go after the third star, who is the third star that you would prefer? Would it be Trae Young? Would it be Donovan Mitchell? Or would it be the third player that I just named? And just any one of those guys that could make the Lakers possibly better in this one. But let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.